So about a half an hour late, we are set to begin this game between Saskatoon and Edmonton. Saskatoon Smurfs, Edmonton Bar South. Bar South will not make the playoffs. There are 7 teams in the men's B. 3 teams don't make the semifinals. Saskatoon right now sitting tied for 3rd. Just double check that. A win and they are definitely into the semifinals. A loss and they could be into some sort of 3-way tie. Ball rolls down and is covered up. Just looking at the current standings, Winnipeg Grasshoppers will finish in first. They have 7 points. Winnipeg could catch them. They've got one more game to play. They've got 5. Then you've got a 3-way tie, a 2-way tie for 4th place. Saskatoon and Stoney Creek. If Vancouver, who are 2 points behind, were to win and Saskatoon were to lose, you'd get into possibly some tie-breaking scenarios, but we'll leave that for a little bit because other games are being played as well right now that could affect that. We're just going to deal with this one right now. And again, for Saskatoon, if they were to win, they will definitely be in the playoffs. Edmonton cannot get there. They are 0-3. Saskatoon, 2 wins and a loss. All right, Saskatoon in the white and blue. Edmonton in the maroon colored with the blue. They're in the darker jerseys. And we're just a minute into this one. Thrown around the boards by James Pasternak. He'll get it up and chip it in. Going back to get it. Hupke. All over him is Joel Thompson. Hupke will try it this side. Thompson, very effective forechecking. Knocks the ball loose. Bernhardt can't get a shot. Comes back towards center. Edmonton with a chance to move it. They didn't. Another chance. This one comes free. On it first is Kirk. Drop pass shot. Goes in wide of the mark. Now Saskatoon move it out as far as center. No further. On it there is Kinzel. He'll clear it in. Poked free. Thompson. Morin. He lost it. We'll come back the other way. Darwin Morin. He'll drop it back. Gets the return pass at center. Morin. He'll chip and chase down into the corner. He'll get to it. Works it up along the half wall. Cycles it back in. They tried to get the return pass to Morin as he came off the half wall. That was broken up. Vogel, he was stopped at the blue line. Here comes Morin again. We'll try it now on the right side. Same play. Go in and get it. To Nate Ways. Nate Ways back towards the blue line. Tried to make the diagonal pass. Comes back at the point. Long shot in. That's gloved by Spang. Bryce Williams with the shot from well out. Face-off win for Saskatoon. Back at the point, Dean Crossland. Down to Magnus. It's Christian Magnus. Brock Harrison. Harrison with a shot. Save is made. Rebound is there. They score. Justin D'Entremont. And he is a goal scorer. Makes it 1-0 for Saskatoon. If you've been watching a lot of our webcasts of the Canadian National Championships over the last few years, a lot of these names on the Saskatoon Smurfs will be familiar to you, including Justin D'Entremont, Brock Harrison, Christian Magnus, James Pasternak, Crosslands. I tell you, I've done a lot of games with these players. A lot of them playing the Masters as well. It's a veteran team used to playing together. Bernhardt down into the corner. Joel Thompson. Thompson. Pass back a little bit behind Colby Harmsworth, and Harmsworth has to go back. And it's very physical out in front of the Saskatoon goalie. They're going to send both guys out. That's Ruben Beatty for Saskatoon. And Brendan Forbes for Edmonton. They were jousting. They got their arms up and elbows up into each other's faces in front of the goalie. It'll stay 5-on-5 on the Coincidental Miners. Lowry to the near boards. Nate Ways. Got it to Moran. Couple of saves made. Moran with it again, a couple of chances. Spang got the right pad down. That shot is blocked. Another shot by Moran. I got to tell you, this Saskatoon team wins the hair battle. We're doing the hair battle from the 1980s. These guys have got it. A lot of flow going on out there for the Saskatoon Smurfs. Moran and Nate Ways. Magnus is in the competition as well. Brock Harrison. He's got his tied up in this one. Get the ponytail going. I notice here because I don't have any. It's used to. Seem to remember that. Here's Magnus. Threw it in front, backhanded. D'Entremont looking for his second one. Put that one over the top of the goal. That shot was a tough one down low, and Spang had to get the right pad down. Magnus lost it. That shot ricochets down into the corner. On it first, Penner. Harrison. Brock Harrison. Harrison goes to the boards. Continues to battle hard against Tyson Wright. Harrison pokes it back. Williams. Penner. Save is made off the stick of Spang. 1-0, Saskatoon Smurfs leading Edmonton Bear South. Hallett to face off against Thompson. Ball goes into the corner. Now it's rung around the boards here to the near side. Caps. That missed everybody. And that will be a flooring call against Edmonton. Harmsworth. The shot did not get through. It was stopped by Caps. Didn't realize it right away. Now he's found it. Tried to get it up ahead to Koulis. Bernhardt left it. Right in front. Save made by Spang. Still loose. Edmonton with it. Tried to get it to Koulis. Now he's got it. To Hallett. Back to Koulis. The shot was stopped by Harmsworth. Breakaway pass. Shot. Save made. Great save. That was Justin Bernhardt, the recipient of that breakaway pass, and a terrific pad save made by Spang. I have a feeling Garrett Spang may be busy in this one. Back at the point, Dean Crossland in behind the goal. Herschel. Moran shot went into the corner. Comes back to Moran. Knocked off his stick. A penalty coming up. And players dive over the top of each other. Physical in behind the goal. Will be a holding penalty. '76, Darwin Moran. First penalty of the game. This is our first power play here in the first period. Belongs to Edmonton. Kress centering it. Off to the side, shot wide, and from the sharp angle, it'll carry him all the way down the floor. Kress has to go back to get it. Players line up at the blue line. Forbes with a hard shot. They will try and get him a one-timer if they can back at the point. He's got a heavy slap shot. Edmonton maintain possession. Kress. Here's the one-timer. That one's wide of the mark by Forbes. Getting to it was Pasternak, and James Pasternak sends it down the floor. Brought in by Kirk. Kirk's got it behind the goal. It's Taylor Kirk. Wrist shot comes off the end boards, and that's got to be covered up. Dylan Wright with the wrist shot. That's Mitchell Dyson in goal for Saskatoon. Nate Weiss will clear it down for Saskatoon. It's in over the blue line, then they'll go into chase, try and come up with it. Kinzel, he's got it behind the goal. Kicked away by Dyson. Kinzel has it again. Kinzel for Edmonton. Back to Devin Chang. That shot wide by Kinzel. Back to right. Only a few seconds to go in the penalty. Now it's over. We're back to 5-on-5. Kinzel trying to get it out in front. Kinzel with a shot. Dyson was going for the poke check. Missed the ball. It's put up and out of play. It'll stay in the Saskatoon end, but they've killed off the penalty to Darwin Moran. Goes in behind the goal. Up at the blue line, Brock Harrison. At center, tipped in. Christian Magnus cutting for the goal, knocked off his stick. Good play there by Kinzel. Kinzel straight up through center. Swings wide left, threw it in front. It'll come into Dyson. He'll hold on to it. Brent Lowry just couldn't quite reach it. He had one hand on the stick reaching out for that pass, and it went into the goaltender. Magnus. Harrison heading for the front of the goal. Into the slot. D'Entremont scores! Justin D'Entremont, his second of the game. When you're a goal scorer, you score goals. Here it is. Magnus in over the blue line. And you see D'Entremont in the slot. Gets it. One-timer. Back of the goal. 2-0 for the team from Saskatoon. Hand pass. Face-off will take place just outside the Edmonton blue line. Harmsworth to the blue line. And it's played back out by Edmonton. Ruben Beattie back there for Saskatoon. Plays it into the corner. Comes up at center. It'll go by everybody. It'll be a flooring call against Saskatoon. Things are getting a little interesting in the American League East this afternoon. Won't give it away in case somebody is recording it to watch later, but let's just say things have gotten interesting. Some interesting scores happening. Interesting is such a non-descriptive word, isn't it? Kirk gets it to the blue line and over. No further than that. And here comes Thompson, and that'll be offside. Just ahead of the play over on the right side was Bernhardt. Comes to the front of the goal, cleared away. Pass up ahead quickly to Nate Ways, knocked off his stick. Carrying on with it is Forbes. Forbes with the backhand. The ball was held long enough to get a whistle. And I think they're going to send them both again. This is the second time Forbes has been involved in this and will go off. Coincidental roughing. I think it's this, is it the same two guys? I know it's Forbes for Edmonton. No, it's going to be Dean Crossland for Saskatoon. But you get this stuff after the whistle. At some point, officials will just call one guy, and that's what tends to put a stop to it. And it looks like the extra minor going to Saskatoon. That is the case. Again, they don't put it up on the board. There is no provision on the scoreboard for penalties, and it's not announced, so we try and figure it out on the fly, just what's happening. But it's a 5-on-4 power play for Edmonton. They're saying the Crossland, I guess, was the aggressor. Picks up the extra two. Either that or there was another penalty call at the same time because there are two players in the penalty box for Saskatoon. Either way, it results in a 5-on-4, and there's a save by Dyson. No rebound given up. Kress will get the return pass from Wright. Scores! Wright with a rocket. Over the shoulder of Dyson in goal for Saskatoon, and they take advantage of the power play. Here's Kress. Down to Kirk, over to Wright, and rifles it over the right shoulder of Dyson into the top of the net. That was a great shot. 2-1. Nate Ways. Circling, brings it back out into center. So look around. Gives it to Moran. And that's intercepted. Back comes Todd Kirk. Moran will play it back. And he'll get the return pass out at center. He'll gain the zone. Dumped in around the boards. Only one back there. Devin Hupke for Edmonton. To Stasewicz down the floor, and a flooring call. Let's hear from Napa. I think I just called them Napa, which is the auto parts store. This is Napper, makers of some of the best ball hockey equipment you'll ever see. Brand new, all innovative designs. They've got sticks, shoes, the shin pads, and more. Thompson with a chance, put it wide. And Napper, it's the official sponsor, right out in front. Shot. Oh, what a save by Spang. Bassett had the goal right there. Had that top corner picked and the lightning quick glove. Garrett Spang kept that out. Harrison. Circling. Can't get a shot. Ball goes into the corner. Harrison's on it again. Back behind the goal. Thompson. Thompson with it. He's cut off at the pass. The ball comes through the side of the goal. It's not held. It's cleared, but it goes up into the ceiling. So the faceoff will stay in the Edmonton zone. 4:30 to go, first period. 2-1. Saskatoon leading Edmonton. Harrison with it in the corner. Watched by Hovind. Harrison still with the ball. Now he's picked up by Caps. Harrison won't give it up. In front for D'Entremont. It's already got 2. Funny bounce off the boards. We saw that one in one of the earlier games. There's a seam over there right in front and almost put home by Edmonton. When you ring the ball around that side, sometimes it doesn't cling to the boards. It hops out in front. You've got to be careful. D'Entremont, what a pass to Magnus, and the ball hopped over his stick. And a holding penalty has been called. What a move. And Christian Magnus rather, just couldn't quite control that pass. But D'Entremont, what a nifty little move. Holding call against Edmonton. Well, power play here for Saskatoon. Harmsworth to Bernhard. Thompson in the corner. Works it up along the wall. In the corner. Moran out in front and put over the top of the goal from in close by Bernhard. Face-off will be to Spang's right. Thompson won the face-off cleanly. Bernhard with a shot. Save was made. Ball is still loose. Moran comes back to Bernhard. To Harmsworth. Bernhard can't one-time it. He'll wrist it. It comes over the top of the goal and cleared out and away by Todd Kirk. Bernhard down low. Trying to get out in front was Bassett. He was stopped. Bassett stole it back. Bassett fed it in front. It's tipped. And that just missed. Magnus was at the side of the goal. Players go against the boards hard. It's kept in by Harmsworth. D'Entremont. Back to Harmsworth. Back to D'Entremont. One-timer. That one sailed high. Bernhard. Harmsworth. Back to Bernhard. His one-timer. Missed far side. D'Entremont's got it. Gets the ball to settle. Down into the corner. Harrison. Shot by Magnus. Went over. And that referee pointing up. If it goes over that red line. Again, there's no glass. There's no mesh. It's just the wall back there, and there's a red line. If the ball touches above that, it is out of play. Something the officials have to be alert to. Something a little new, something a little different. Clean face-off win shot, way wide of the goal, though, by Dean Crossland. Sent down the floor by Edmonton. That'll kill some time. We're down to a minute and a half left to go here in the first period. Magnus. Penalty is over. Coming out of the penalty box, almost stealing it. Away from James Pasternak. Backhanded in. Harrison. Again, watched by Hovind. Harrison. Back at the point. That shot blocked. Crossland's got it again. Puts it in behind the goal. Chang. Picked up at center by Kirk. He'll clear it in. Under a minute to go now in the first period. Saskatoon lead it by 1. Pasternak. That pass intercepted all the way down to Dyson. He will leave it there for Crossland. Crossland has got Kresh draped all over him. And Edmonton come up with it. Kirk. Shot scores! Oh, that's a killer goal. 26.5 seconds to go. Just a good forecheck. This is Tyler Kirk comes up with it in the corner from a bit of a sharp angle, pulls it back. They let him go, and he, again, same spot really over the shoulder of Dyson. They beat him twice up high. We're tied. It was 2-0 for Saskatoon. "15 seconds to go in the period. Harmsworth. He'll reverse it. Turnover. Another chance for Edmonton. Boy, that would have been something. Just 2 seconds to go. That'll do it. A good finish to the period for Edmonton Bar South. Scored the last 2 goals, tied it up, and almost had one with about 4 seconds to go to take the lead. So we're tied at 2 after 20 minutes of play. We'll be back with period number 2 in just under 5 minutes from now. These are the Canadian Ball Hockey Association Men's B, C, and D, Women's B National Championships. We are in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. 2-2 tie. The final preliminary round game between these two teams in the men's B division. Cleared down by Saskatoon. Again, Edmonton will not make the playoffs. Saskatoon with a win will, and with a loss they could potentially. Again, I don't know what's happening in the other arenas right now. Potentially be into a tie-breaking situation, or at least a loss will determine where they fit into the semifinal standings. It'll be first versus fourth, second versus third. Right now they're tied for third. Harrison. Magnus scores. And that did not take long, 23 seconds into the period. A little while to get going there. Here's Harrison. Magnus back at the blue line. There's the shot. And there's the goal. And it is 3-2. Cleared down the floor. Picked off by Edmonton. Straight up the floor. That was Brent Lowry. Lowry, and they're looking for it again. Taken away by Harmsworth. Harmsworth, he's poke checked by Kirk. Kirk comes up with the ball. Kirk along the boards. Drops it down. Lowry. That came through the slot area to the near boards. Shot was blocked. Bernhardt trying to spin away. It's it up the floor. Picked up there by Wright. Wright's got one of the two goals for Edmonton in this game. In behind the Edmonton goal, the ball goes into the corner. Nate Ways. Off the end boards, comes out in front. Big save made by Spang. The ball is still loose. Great chance by Jared Penner for Saskatoon a second ago. Davison behind the goal, came out in front. Moran away. Harrison overran it at center. Brought back in by Hupke. Now they get it to Harrison. Brock Harrison to D'Entremont. D'Entremont racing in. D'Entremont had it knocked away from him at the last second as he tried to get the shot away, cutting for the goal. That pass missed. Kyle Capps, and it'll be a flooring call against the Edmonton Bar South. Harmsworth. One hands it off the boards for D'Entremont. Comes back to Harmsworth. Harrison diving onside. Back. Magnus shot. Glove save made by Spang. Brock Harrison diving. Not only negated the flooring call, but managed to stay onside at the same time. That was blocked by the Edmonton defense. Cleared down the floor. Crossland going back to get it. No flooring. Crossland one hands it towards the blue line. Knocked down there by Forbes. Back in behind the goal. That hit the side of the net. Bernhardt. Got Thompson with him. Ball goes down into the far corner. On first is Chang. That gets knocked down. Chance for Bernhardt. Referee's arm is up. A penalty is being called. Oh, correction, just a hand pass. Okay, had it right the first time. Never change a good mind. Penalty to Saskatoon. So a power play for Edmonton, trailing by 1. Hovind to right. Comes back to right. Shot blocked by Nate Ways. Kinzel behind the goal. They come back to the point, now to the side. Right. Shot wide of the goal. Rebound was there. Save made by Dyson. Right into the middle. Ball bounces high in the air. Played by a high stick. High stick of Saskatoon. So Edmonton will touch it up. Play will continue. Kinzel lost it. Harrison. Lots of time, and Crossland sends it down the floor. Trying to catch up to it short-handed was Henschel. Kirk may have tried to do a little too much on his own that time. He lost it right at the blue line. Forbes had to be careful. Magnus was all over him. Christian Magnus, short-handed, down in the corner, trying to kill some time. Holds it against the boards, seconds ticking away. Finally, Edmonton come up with it. Kirk to Kress. Kress with it in the corner. Back to Kirk here at the left point. Kirk able to walk in. He'll shoot it. That went well wide of the goal. Picked up on the far side by Bassett of Saskatoon. Bassett flips it ahead, trying to get to it, and diving out to break that up. But it comes to Magnus. That pass didn't work. Penalties over. Back in behind the goal. Magnus. Ball doesn't get to him. Forbes is knocked down. Magnus falls over the top of him. Play is allowed to continue. Ball goes back into the corner. Magnus plays it behind the goal. He's got it. Tries to come out short side. Good job by Spang to get the paddle of the stick down and break that up. Kress. Head right out in front. Thompson in front. Scores! Bernhardt may have gone off the defenseman's stick and deflected into the top corner. There's Bernhardt. He will leave it then for Thompson. Just drops back, pass a little behind, and yeah, it did go off the shaft of the stick of the Edmonton defenseman, deflected up into the top corner. No chance at all for Spang. And Saskatoon back to a 2-goal lead. Dumped in. Dyson leaves it for Penner. Nate Ways to Moran. Nate Ways has it back. Nate Ways. He'll shoot it himself. Off the goalie, off the post. Moran back to Nate Ways. And again, a very physical battle in front of the net. Both referees have their arms in the air. Penalty coming up to Edmonton. Delayed penalty. They get the goaltender out, so it's 6-on-5. Penner with a long shot. That goes wide. Williams gets to it first for Saskatoon, but it'll be touched up down in the corner. There was quite a battle happening in front of goaltender Spang, but as the Saskatoon player was going down, he took a pretty good two-hander in the back from Devin Hupke. So Hupke goes for cross-checking. Another power play for Saskatoon. They lead it by 2 now. Here as we get close to the halfway point of the second period. Magnus, Pasternak. Bernhardt, whoop, fanned on that pass. He'll give it back to Pasternak. Pasternak, Bernhardt. Pasternak, one-timer, save was made. Rebound, cleared by Edmonton. Dyson will give it to Pasternak. Harrison got it in over the blue line. Down low to D'Entremont. Magnus. Oh, the net was moved. And there's a little chat between a couple of players. Christian Magnus and Tyson Wright catching up. Comes back to Moran. To Harmsworth. Moran. Looking for the deflection at the side of the goal. Bassett was there. Thompson. Down low. Nate Ways. Back to Moran. Moran able to keep it onside. Thompson. Nate Ways back to Thompson, to Moran. Still won't shoot it. Thompson will. And that stung. As it went off the foot of Mark Hallett. Nate Ways back to Moran. Harmsworth, Moran one-timer, wide of the net. And Edmonton able to clear. D'Entremont looking for the hat trick. Denied by Spang. And a lengthy power play. On the cross check again, it's a stick penalty, so 4 minutes. Pasternak centers it, doesn't shoot it. Bernhardt back to Pasternak. This time he'll shoot it, but way over the top of the goal. Harrison behind the goal. Tried to get it out in front. Bounces back at the blue line to Pasternak. D'Entremont with a wicked shot. Wasn't touched. Went out, so the faceoff will come outside the blue line. Pasternak shot, save made by Spang, knocked down and cleared and sent down the floor. Our next game, semifinal. The men's D, Vaughan Saints taking on New Brunswick Mooseheads. New Brunswick finishing first, Vaughan finishing fourth after the preliminary round. Pasternak, D'Entremont, wide of the mark again. Pass was intercepted, but then cleared into the Edmonton bench. Just over 7.5 to go. Saskatoon opened up a 2-0 lead. Edmonton came back with 2 goals to tie it up, and then Saskatoon with 2 more to go back to 2 up. Bassett, Harmsworth, Moran. Harmsworth, ball went under his stick. Bassett's got it, back to Harmsworth. Back to Bassett. Moran, Thompson, Nate Ways, back to Thompson as they throw it around. Can't get anything on goal. Penalty's now over. They've killed off the 4-minute penalty. Finally get a shot on net and it's kicked away by Spang. 5-on-5. Ball rattles around in front of Spang, comes through the side of the goal. Bassett's got it from a sharp angle. The ball goes in behind the goal. It went up in the air. Back to Harmsworth. Slides it down into the corner. Nate Ways jumps on that. Nate Ways spinning away. Tried to play it behind the goal, and that's intercepted by Edmonton and down the floor. Dyson's going to wait for it and cover it. Won't take any chances with the 2-goal lead. Nick Hancock's out there for Saskatoon. First time we've seen him. Save made by Spang. He'll cover it up. It's number 78 for the Saskatoon Smurfs. They play takeaway, give it back inside the blue line. It's in behind the Edmonton goal. Bernhardt. Back to Pasternak. His shot stopped by Spang. Pasternak able to hold it in. Edmonton had a chance to move it. Saskatoon wants to get a change in. They got a couple of tired players out there. They'll get to do that as Edmonton bring it up the floor. Poked away. Moran. Harrison tried to give it back to Moran as he looked up, fanned on it. Saskatoon maintained possession. Oh, nifty little move. They throw it across, shot. Scores. Oh, what a beauty. Let's watch this move by Christian Magnus. Here he comes, and now you see him, now you don't. And a great pass to guess who? Justin D'Entremont as he completes the hat trick. And it is now 5-2. Ooh, Spang went one way, the ball went the other, but it stayed out. Moran off the boards to Brock Harrison. Harrison back between the feet. The pass to Magnus. Kept in. That was Williams out at the point. Williams pinching in. D'Entremont clears it in around behind the goal. Harrison gets to it first. Magnus is top of the circle. Ball doesn't come to him. It comes right out in front. They're looking for D'Entremont. Williams sends it back in. This is D'Entremont. And again, they're going to send both players. It's Bryce Williams for Saskatoon. And Dennis Davison for Edmonton. Both players go as they were walking at each other back at the blue line as the ball went in behind the goal. Coincidental minors. They'll stay 5-on-5. All right, now I think we're ready to go. Ball is dropped and play resumes. Edmonton will bring it out. Shot by Forbes off the stick of Beatty. And that goes high into the mesh down in the far corner. Face off to the right of Mitchell Dyson. Harmsworth. Nobody touched it. Flooring call against Edmonton. battle in front of Spang. Nateway's got a stick on the ball, and Spang made the save. Back at the point it comes. Shot by Beatty, kicked away by Spang. Bad clearing attempt. Shot by Moran. Was knocked down in front, then they score. That was all set up by a poor clearing. So they tried to clear it up through the middle. You can see Edmonton has it here, and pass right on the stick of Moran. Shot first save is made. The ball is still loose there and then tucked home. Sometimes you try and do just a little too much with it. Seldom works out in your favor. Harmsworth gets it to center, no further, kicked away by Dyson. Six to 2, 2:14 to go. Magnus flips it ahead, trying to race onto it is Henschel. Henschel down the corner has it taken away. Under 2 minutes to go now. Harmsworth. Harmsworth over to Penner. It was knocked down by Kress. Comes back to Penner. Penner to the blue line, shoots it over the top of the goal. Sliding, breaking it up. The ball comes out over the red line. It was out. Beatty back behind his goal. Penner rings it around, gets it out to center. Moran. Harrison. To Magnus. They throw it around. You can tell these guys have played together a little bit. They know where each other is all the time without ever looking. So for Edmonton Bar South, this will be the end of their tournament. The 2021 championships will come to an end for them. Saskatoon will wait and see exactly where they fall in that 1 through 4 order to see who they will face in the semifinals for the B. I suspect this will be a team that will be dangerous. Once you get to the semis, so there's 7 teams, 4 make it in, so any one of those is obviously a very competitive team. Another shot, that goes wide. 25 seconds. Back at the blue line, Hopke tried to shoot it in and went into the Saskatoon players' bench. Our next game, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, will be a D Division semifinal. Vaughan Saints will take on the New Brunswick Mooseheads. That'll be a first place New Brunswick taking on fourth place Vaughan. The right to go to the gold medal game tomorrow. Buzzer goes, that'll do it. This one is over. The home side gets a round of applause from the fans here in the stands as they take this one 6-2. It was tied 2-2 after 20 minutes of play, but 4 straight goals by Saskatoon salted it away here in the second. All right, we will take a break and be back with that men's D semifinal game in just a few minutes. You are watching the Canadian Ball Hockey Association men's BC&D and the women's B national championships from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Back in a few moments, folks.